back at Painted Studio. Happy Wednesday. Today we are going to be gilding 2-foot-long nutcrackers. I don't know where the nutcrackers came from, but this is what I mean. I'm backing up so that you can see how big this guy is. Now, I picked these up at Michael's. They were unfinished wood. Oh, I'm clunking them into things. They're unfinished wood. I painted the base with set coats. The one I just showed you was in set coat charcoal gray. The other one we're going to work on is in set coat black. And I have painted nutcrackers for my niece and nephew for the last several years. And I usually do the normal size ones, you know, the ones that are about 12 to 13, 14, 15 inches. Well, they had the 2-foot ones, and I had used and painted all the other ones that they had in stock. So I thought, let's go big this year. We're going to go with the big guys. So as a result, I thought, let's also gild, because not only can I not get enough of leafing, but I thought it would be a nice, interesting finish to do something different, something that's I usually foil everything and do stuff like that. I thought, man, the kids are older. One's 19, one's 24. So let's go do something a little different. Let's actually gild them with leaf, and they'll be a little more grown up. Sorry, I'm thirsty today. My allergies are also kicking up really badly. I'm a fall allergy person. Most people get them in the spring, but if you're like me, you get them when it rains and it's moldy, and that's when it's been like here. So we're gonna flip the camera down. Now, understand a couple things. When you gild something like this, you've got a lot of weird spaces to work with, a lot of edges, a lot of nooks and crannies, a lot of funny spots. I guarantee you, I will miss spots on each pass. And what's gonna happen is I'm going to go along through this, and eventually I will have filled in all the small stuff. Now, because this wood is a little coarse, that actually makes it easier because the patches don't show, as opposed to something that was perfectly smooth and even where the patches do show. So we're going to start with our gray one right now, and we're going to use good old-fashioned silver leaf. Now, this says Old World Art composition metal leaf for silver leafing, which is actually aluminum, so it doesn't tarnish. It's very easy to work with. But I guarantee you, in this pack of stuff, I have a lot of different people, because here's one from Easy Leaf. I have some in here from Sep Leaf. I have some in here from all kinds of different vendors. So be aware that you can get this just about anywhere. You can get this at Michael's. We are using our Roberson's acrylic gold size. It's very easy to work with on projects like this. It's water-based, very user-friendly, very thin, and I have had this bottle for a long time, and I'm down to the very end of it. I still haven't used it all up. I think maybe I might actually finish it all up by the time I finish this particular project, but I can't guarantee that. So I'm going to flip the camera down. Let's see. I want to see something here. I don't know what I touched, but I touched something that made I couldn't see the screens. Now let me go on my page here to make sure I can see the comments as we go along. I'm trying not to do the @followers and stuff, because that doesn't seem to make people very happy. So we're going to flip our camera down. Here we go. You can see my nutcracker here. Now, let me make sure on the camera there's enough light on it. If I have to, I'll bring a little closer. There we go. So I've done the arms, but there's some missing spots. I have bands on the legs. I have sized this completely already. I actually did it yesterday, because once you apply the size, it can stay sticky for a long. Hey everyone, I'm back. Sorry about that. As you can see, I'm now on my phone. I'm not right all the time. You know, there's only so many things I can manage to remember, and this time I forgot to charge my other camera, which would have been better for this because of the size of the nutcracker. But stuff happens, and we're back. So I'm going to not chatter away here. I'm going to just make sure I'm up on my page so I can see it. And do this and do this so then I can see any comments that come in if I can't see them on my phone. And we're just going to get back into it. So as I was saying, we're using, get my camera functioned here, shaping, functioning, shaping, moving, whatever. We're going to use aluminum leaf, which is faux silver leaf, not real silver. You can use real silver if you're comfortable with using that, but if you're doing crafting, oftentimes aluminum leaf is easier, it's far less expensive, and you can handle it with your bare hands, don't need any special tools. And that's one of the things I like about this. Now, I'm just gonna take things, I'm gonna start tucking stuff in here because, why? Because I've applied my size already on the, where did I put it? I don't know, I sized some of this. I may have missed some of it. I don't know anymore. But I am doing the entire jacket and body in this. So, and I'm using the handle as well, doing the handle with the aluminum leaf as well. And as you can see, I'm just laying it down. So I think I may have missed putting size over here because as you can see, nothing's sticking. That's a good indicator that you didn't put size down. I was doing a lot of this in a rush last night, so I may have easily missed parts. But I did get 1/2 of this. I'm impressed with myself that I got 1/2 of it. And I often, as you can see, I will piece things together if I've missed a spot. I just come in, grab a little leaf, go into stuff. This is not a complicated process, it's just a time-consuming one. So we're going to take leaf, I'm going to stick it on here, and I can smooth this down with my fingers because again, we're working with a heavier metal than true gold or true silver. And you've seen me do a lot with both of those where I use the gilder's tip and a little Vaseline, and I cut the pieces and I'm much more precise. Why? Because I need to be. That is a far, far, far more expensive material. It requires gentler handling. And so this is a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more fun. Let me see what I've got. I need a little art brush here so I can get into some crevices just to pat stuff down. I'm not using any special tools on this today. I'm just gonna work it until I've got everything that I know I have the size on coated with the leaf. Now, and then once I get everything leafed, I literally just start brushing it off. So on the legs, I've done the bands around the knees. And the rest of him is gonna, once I get all this solid leafing done, we're gonna use a Tamisay product. And really, I'm probably going to mix, we have a gold Tamisay that we carry, and I'm going to take all the leftover silver skewings from all of this, and I'm going to mix it with that so we have a gold and silver mixture, because I really want to get something interesting. The black one already has some gold Tamisay on him, and we're going to just build this up bit by bit. Now, next week, I'm going to take this into our video studio and we're going to progress with it there. But today you're just going to get a little basic leafing. We're not going to make this a big, long thing. It's going to be just fun. And of course, I'm here to answer any gilding questions you might have. But one of my goals is, because people get really intimidated about using leaf, is to take some of the mystery out of it. It's metal. You're gonna apply metal on a surface and generally you're gonna seal it up so it stays nice. That's what we're doing here. Now, get all these little spots here. And any spots that I miss or that I didn't get adhesive on the first time, once I've cleaned this all off, I will come back and I will put more size on it and then relief it. So I'm just coming in here and this is the joy of the composition leaves and the less expensive metals. I can just come in and shove stuff on here, play with it a little bit, get it all stuck down, tear it off, and not feel like I'm doing something dirty, you know, doing an injustice to what I'm working on. Gold leaf, real metals, well, I shouldn't say real metals, real gold, real silver, takes a little more patience, just does. So here's this aluminum, I'm dropping it over the sword. I did put foil adhesive over the entire blade of the sword. I haven't decided, you know, I kind of decide some of these things as I go along just because I want to see how it all looks. So I haven't put foil adhesive on the entire sword. I haven't put gold, I keep saying foil adhesive. I haven't put gold leaf size on the entire surface. Now, just because I keep saying foil size, don't use foil size. You won't get the result you want. It's too sticky, it's too heavy bodied. It does not have any leveling properties or anything to it, and you'll have to seal it in a way that could be detrimental to the metal. You could cause some tarnishing, you could cause some discoloration with the golds, or if you're using any variegated leaf. It's not designed for this. The gold leaf size that we carry, the Robersons, is specifically, very specifically designed for leafing. It has a much gentler level of adhesion, which is exactly what you want for any kind of gilding. And I do this in every video that I'm gilding. I always start talking about foil adhesive when I mean gold leaf size, so be aware. If I'm gilding it and I say size, gold leaf, foil adhesive, I'm saying the wrong thing. All right, let's get that on there. And let's get up here because I know I got at least part of this. I'm a genius. I missed a whole spot here. I'm always so proud of myself when I think I've got everything done, and then I prove myself wrong. All right, I'm gonna stick that up. And under these arms and elbows are really the hardest place to get, so again, use a little, I'm just using an artist brush, not using a stiff one though, because that could tear the leaf, and what I'm trying to do is just fold it under and get it attached. Right, so we're going to come over here, and you can see all my little flakes are floating around, and some of them are getting stuck on places with leaf on it, some of them aren't. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It won't hurt anything. So I'm going to take this, another piece, and we're going to just lay it across the front here. Get it down as far as I can get it. Take my little brush and tap in along the sides of the arm, because again, these are the hardest spots to get. All right, let's buff them out here. Give this a little push. I'm just going to take a little piece because it broke right here and it didn't get down to the belt line. Now, did I actually put foil adhesive on his waistband? No, I didn't. Or gold leaf size. See, I did it again. Did I put gold leaf size on his waistband? No, I didn't. I didn't want to. That was what I was trying to avoid. Okay. And let's get the skirt here of his jacket. Peplum, or whatever you're calling it. The bottom half of the jacket is what I'm calling it. How about that? You go with that. Let's get in here. And then, did I touch up any spots on the arms? No, I think I decided to wait until later to do that. And then we've got the top of the crown, not this part, but just the part under the domed part. This is tough because you do actually have to tuck stuff under here, and I'm not sure I got all the gold leaf size on here that I needed, which is not surprising given the shape of this. This is a hard one to, you know, it's a challenge. I shouldn't say it's hard, it's challenging. So I'm definitely going to have touch up over here. Let's get another piece of leaf. And these packets of leaf, I don't know, they're like $6, $7 for the silver. I think the Compo Gold might be a little more expensive, but not much, compared to much smaller books of silver and gold that go for the market price of those metals, plus the tooling. All right, let's get that there. Turn this around, keep going over the back, and I'm loving how this looks. Now it's going to look messy until it doesn't. That is the way of all of my work. It looks messy until it doesn't, and that is something that I'm fine with. I know a lot of people are super perfectionist about things. I try to let people embrace the messiness because you can make wonderful things out of big old messes. Okay, so there's definitely a whole lot of this stuff that I did not get with adhesive that I should have with the gold leaf size. But that's all right. First thing we're going to do, we're going to start wiping this off, because once I've cleared this and smoothed it out, I will have a much better idea of what I need to do. I'm going to grab this brush because this just gets into things nicely. Now I could use a softer, finer skewing brush, but this metal is just a little heavier, so sometimes a good old Taklon paintbrush actually helps break it off. And this is stiff enough to get down into areas that I would have trouble with otherwise. First, we're just going to do this, break that all off. And you can see I'm creating a nice pile of little skewings here. So again, I need that for doing the rest of this on the body when I mix it with our gold Tamaset flakes. So, you know, any extra fallout here does not go to waste. And I have a little jar on one of my shelves where I store all the different metals that I have skewings from. The gold ones I usually turn into something like shell gold, which makes a paint. But others just go into a pot until I need them for something else. So we're just breaking all this heavy duty rough stuff off, and then I'll come back in with a cloth and mop it down, or not mop it, but wipe it down, just so that it's all smoothed out, because then I can apply the more size to it without having flakes get into my paintbrush and get into the size and making a mess there, because yes, that does happen. You don't want all these little flakes, even though you have to touch up these spots, because it makes a hell of a mess. Gets into your brush, gums everything up, doesn't leave a pretty finish. You want to clean up everything as best you can. this under here. So it's always, you always have to just break off the extra. I did put leaf on the size on there. I couldn't remember sometime. You know, again, I'm doing these in a rush. Not normally, just yesterday I was putting the size on in a rush, so I don't always remember where I've put size. And so I have to come back and check things, make sure I got it all done. And it's never surprising that I've missed a spot. Let me get this side. I'll figure out if I'm going to do the bottom of the jaw lever when I get to finishing other spots. Right now, the sides will be what show more, so I want to make sure I get all of those parts handled. And just, it requires patience and some time. And I love doing this, so for me, this is a joy. This is like one of my favorite things to do. So, I never get freaked out by any mistakes on this, and I have made some total bloopers. Now back here I have some skip spots. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but there's some gaps where I missed the gold leaf size. So I'm going to go back and I'll touch it up. And I will get everything that I want with this leaf done on it first, and then I'll come back with the tamisay that I create. And if you're not sure what I mean by tamisay, if you missed our other lives where we were doing the ornaments with it, tamisay is flakes. It's the same. Tamisay and shabin are truly almost the same things. This is actually like a shabin because this is what I'm taking off. These are skewings. Tamisay is purposely shredded flakes of different kinds of leaf that you use specifically to create a unique pattern. And I will show you that again in a moment. Let me just finish cleaning this off, because we do have our other Nutcracker who I did apply some gold tamisay flakes to. And yes, we carry gold, we carry pink variegated and blue-green variegated tamisay flakes. So if you like what the tamisay flakes look like, go on our website, Painted Studio. They are there. They are under the section called embellishments, but I'm sure if you just put in tamisay in our search engine, you'll find that. So let me take all of that, but you can see where we're going. So now you see him with the leaf on there, and then you come back with a cloth and start wiping this down. Now for pure gold and silvers, I have a velvet buffing pad called the Gold Father, made by a guy here in Chicago. It's a fantastic thing. I love it. Makes doing stuff like this very easy, and especially with real gold where it could be scraped or scratched. It's very gentle and delicate. For this kind of gilding, just like I'm using a flower cloth sack kind of towel. Soft. It's been washed a million times. It's actually a piece of rag because we used them as dish towels for years, and then they finally started shredding, so I captured them and brought them to the studio and turned them into studio gilding rags because they're very, very soft. Let's get this in. See, I can see all the places that I missed with my gold leaf size, because it'll just, the metal will just simply rub off. Now, let me turn this around so you can see a little more of what I'm doing. I've got the knees going. Let me flip this up a little bit so you can see the rest. Ooh, sorry, I'm about to flip the phone out of the holder, so I don't want to do that. There we go. So here we go. We're going to handle the front here. I am a really imperfect gilder. The nature of who I am means I don't get everything perfect. I have met gilders who do stuff. They just touch the gold with their tip or take a piece of the composition metal that we're working with here with their hands, drop it on, and it's perfect. That's not me. And that's not most of us, especially if this is gilding is not something you're doing all day, every day, and that's all you do. So the fact that I'm showing you the messes that I make, just understand, I make them, you can make them, it's not a big deal, it's what happens. It's okay if your stuff is not perfect, especially at this stage. So you can see I'm going in with my little brush under the arms to get any of the flakes off. And that's working really nicely. All right, I have a few more minutes with you all, because unfortunately I am on a schedule today and I have an appointment here in the studio at 1 o'clock. So I have to be a good girl and do what I'm supposed to be doing. So if you look in the back of this arm, you can see that's where I messed with the gold leaf size. If you look here, I didn't get this spot, but if you turn it around and you can see where we're going, and yes, there are spots like in here and under the elbow that I've missed, I will get them. They will be gotten. And this will continue on, and I'm going to save all of these silver colored skewings that I've just created. And I'm going to flip the camera back down so you see what I'm talking about. All of this stuff. So I'm trying not to flip it on the floor, catching it with my elbows, which is something I do all the time. Quite frankly, it's very easy for me to make big messes. Shocker, I know. And I just cleaned my table and repapered it and re-plasticed it and everything. So that's why I'm doing this now before I do anything else and make a mess out of the table again and everything sticks to it. I'm going to save all of this. And this is kind of how I do it most of the time. I take the paper, because I don't have my little container right next to me. And as you can see, I just shot some of this out. So I'm going to brush it back in there. I don't want to lose this. And I'll probably be picking up stuff like this off of the table edges and stuff later. Go gently, because the air puffs will drive all these little flakes out everywhere. And then I come this way and sort of fold it down and fold it in. And there's still going to be more floating around this table. I haven't finished cleaning it all, but for now. And then I take this and I can slide it back. Fold it over again. And take this, shake it all down to the bottom, and fold it over. So now I've created sort of an envelope that will at least house that temporarily. And yes, there is more floating around over here, and I will get that in a minute. But we're going to do a minute with our gold nutcrackers. So I'm going to flip that camera up again. Oh, Lord, I'm just going to try not to drop it out of the container, out of the stand. So here's my gold nutcracker, and if you look closely now, you can see that his body was done with the gold tamase flakes, and that gives you this kind of interesting texture, kind of crumbly, very different from solid leaf, which is nice and smooth. So we're gonna do a little solid leaf on him. And again, the tamase flakes I carry. The gold leaf size I carry. My gold leaf, I think the gold leaf I have, I've, again, gotten it from all kinds of places because every once in a while somebody has a sale and I buy it. I use mostly true golds, but, you know, I need compo gold too. And compo gold, what I mean when I say that is composition gold. It is composition metal, meaning it's made from brass and copper and aluminum and all sorts of things. And everybody's company has different proportions, but they're all about the same. Now, this stuff that I'm using right now, I got it off of Amazon, so I have a feeling it probably came from China, and it's a little thinner than the stuff I normally work with, but it works just fine. So I'm going to flip this back down, and we're going to work on the Nutcracker a little bit, the black Nutcracker. And again, we're just going to tap. Now, since I've got did the hat and did the body, even though those are still places I'm going to have to touch up, and I know it, we're going to do some regular leafing on here first, because I don't want the tamisay out at the same time I have the sheets of leaf, because they will get sticky and stick to each other if I'm trying to do both gildings at the same time. Tamisay is extremely light and messy and wants to float around, and I want this to just stick. Right now I'm just wanting the leaf to stick, so I'm only using the leaf. Once I've got all of that applied the way I want it, I will come back and put more size on where I need to for the tamisay. It's a little bit of a process, so I will bounce back and forth between both of these things until I have this exactly the way I want it. And I don't even know exactly how I want it until, you know, sometimes until I'm like 3/4 of the way done, and then I have to figure out, okay, that spot needs something. What am I going to put there? Is it going to be tamisay flakes, or is it going to be leaves, sheet of leaf? And I'm saying sheet leaf, which is not not a way I normally refer to leaf, because tamisay is also a leaf product, but I want to distinguish between using sheets of leaf for you all and using tamisay. So we're going to put this on the leg. And I am watching my time right now, because unfortunately I will probably not get this fully leafed. I guarantee you I'm not going to get it fully leafed before I have to sign off, because I do have an appointment in a few minutes. So I have to be a good person and, you know, stay on my schedule too. I forget sometimes my time is not always my own. All right, let's do this. So you can see how we've got the leaf sticking onto everything. It's really coming along beautifully, and I know it will always look messy before it looks beautiful. And if you think this is messy, you should have seen the tamisay mess I made. Now, parts of this are going to be shown on lives here on Facebook. The other part is going to end up on Instagram, because we're doing it at our video studio as well. And so you'll see this progress in 2 different places, and full videos of each will be posted to YouTube. So our Instagram video studio stuff always goes on to YouTube, and then I try to post my lives here, especially if there's crossover on YouTube. And then you'll see shorts of me doing the tamisay flakes on this guy on Instagram in a couple of days. And, you know, we got the whole process going. So if you're a social media junkie, if you enjoy all the different social media channels, definitely check out our YouTube channel, check out our Instagram page. We love having everybody come and see us. And of course, as always, don't hesitate to ask a question. If I've made something unclear to you, that's on me, that's not on you. That is the fault of the operator here, who is trying to both create and talk at the same time, which sometimes is a really bad idea. All right, so I am going to call this done for now because I need to go and get on my meeting. All right, everybody, let me push that up. So I hope you got some of what I was saying. I hope I made a little sense. Thank you for all of you who came back to watch what I was doing after my camera died. And we will be back tomorrow with another project. Stay well, stay happy, and have a great Wednesday. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.